Inception, we MSCCN have shown consistent performance in academics under Anna University, and young minds are shaped with discipline and also is made to participate in many extracurricular, co-curricular activities. The management says consistently to develop this institution into a center of excellence, imparting quality in young engineers, growing them in a good personality of ethical value and being a good citizen. Finally, I seek the blessings of God Almighty and our founder, the Professor Meenakshi Sundararajan, for bless this event to a success, and I will take this opportunity to welcome all for this gathering. Hope this session will be an eye-opening awareness program to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request our Honorable Secretary, ma'am, to felicitate our chief guest and address the gathering.
Good morning to every one of you. I just want to tell everyone about our Dr. Anand Samuel. I know him when he was working in Mechanical Engineering Department in College of Engineering, India, Anna University. Dr. T.A. Jagadishan was the director at that time. I was so happy that we used to discuss about, then there was no national education policy or anything. Still, we used to discuss about how to bring quality in education through quality circles and using all the quality instruments. So he used to give training to many teachers, many students, and he was instrumental for starting many of the quality circles in educational institution. That way, once or twice I attended his training session and I was really very happy. He proved that he was a good teacher and he was a good trainer. So I'm not much bothered about whether he was a former vice chancellor, but I'm really proud to say that an excellent teacher. That's what I want to tell you. He's an excellent teacher. Dr. Anand Samuel, I want to tell you one thing. We want to implement new education policy, of course, subtracting or adding whichever necessary. So accordingly, I want your guidance throughout, not today only, throughout. That's what I'm telling. This I'm commanding and demanding, not requesting. Let me tell you the truth. With a close association with you. So I want you to be a guide for this college because this is a small one, sweet one, nice one. Therefore, it is easy for this college to grow up to a multinational level. Of course, with the help and guidance of stalwarts like you. So once again, I request you for this. Our teachers and our students are really great. I am proud of all of them. Let me tell you the truth. Thank you once again. I welcome you and I want to listen to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I would like to invite Mrs. S. Aarti, Assistant Professor, CS Department, to introduce our chief guest. Aarti, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. I feel honored to introduce the chief guest of today's event, Dr. Anand A. Samuel, former Vice Chancellor, VIT University, Vellore. He completed his BE Mechanical Engineering from College of Engineering, Guindy in 1974, MS in IIT Madras in 1978, and PhD in Anna University in 1992. He has a professional experience of 44 years, out of which he has served 2 years in National Highways, 24 years in Anna University for teaching and research work, and 18 years in VIT Chennai. Dr. Anand is a qualified professional in the field of higher education with vast Indian experience and international exposure, and the commitment, zeal, and energy are the hallmark of his work and culture. He has held many responsibilities in various professional bodies like ISHRAE, ASHRAE, the QCFI, ISTE, BSI, and AIMS, and various members. He has been as a mayor, various member in various boards of NGOs. He is a recipient of Lifetime Achievement Award from QCFI. Dr. Anand Samuel sir has published and presented more than 120 research papers in various journals. He has authored a book on total quality management too. He is the founder secretary of Students Magazine Scripture Union and is coordinating a committee member in NAC. Adding feather to his cap, he has completed 500 research projects. Amidst of all his positions and responsibilities held by him, he has also nailed his efforts in organizing more than 30 faculty development programs and also conducted more than 100 training programs for all the working professionals. Sir, we are very happy to know that you are a staunch believer in God and nature too, and wanted to humbly express that we, the MSCCNs, have the same convictions, sir. Thank you so much for accepting our request, and we are eager to hear from you. Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Without further delay, I would like to invite our chief guest, Dr. Anand A. Samuel, to share with us the features and benefits of National Education Policy 2020 with a focus on innovation and entrepreneurship. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. Respected Secretary of the institution, Dr. Babai, and my good friend, and all the other faculty members, the board members, and the students. Very good morning to one and all. First of all, I would like to thank Babai ma'am for inviting me. And from the introduction itself, you would have understood that we are close friends. The two words I just cannot forget. I demand and command. So wonderful. So yeah, that's the relationship between us, and we are good friends. And I'm sure that in whatever possible way, I will definitely help the institution in its growth, and if at all it is possible. With this prelude, I thought I will straight away go on to the slides. Will you allow me to share? Can I share now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, the topic is National Education Policy 2020. And all of us know that we have been hearing about it quite a lot. And I'm sure that some of you must have even read it in maybe websites, or you must have seen webinars, so many ways. But as it has been told in the introduction, it's going to be an awareness session. So for those maybe who have not heard much about NEP 2020, its importance and benefits, and also what are the issues that we may face while implementing it. Now, these are all some of the things that we need to be clear about it before we launch it. And so this session is intended towards that. I'm happy that your institution has decided to implement NEP 2020, rightly so, I would say. And maybe when I go through the slides, you will also understand why I say this. It's a right time. And you may know that this NEP 2020 has come, the policy revision, as education policy revision has come after 34 years. So it's a long time. And I don't think a forward-looking educational system cannot be run unchanged for 34 years. Now that itself talks bad about the system. And so it's good that now Government of India has initiated NEP 2020, and we are going to discuss about it. And since the time is 2 hours for want of time, I'm restricting myself to higher education, even though I will introduce NEP 2020 and touch upon overall picture, but in detail, I'll be talking about higher education because that is what is needed for your institution. So that will be the framework. And at this point in time, I also understand, looking at the number, it says in the number is around 200 plus or 300 plus people attending. That means many students are also there, 380. That means students must be there. And so I know that all these students are Generation Z. I don't know how many of you are aware of this fact. The Generation Z students, they have a capacity or patience to sit and listen productively for maximum 30 minutes, not more than that. So with that challenge before me, yeah, and I've been asked to, deliver this session or take this session for 2 hours. I will try my level best to make it interesting. But at the same time, I wish, if there is a direct contact session, it's a different ball game altogether. I can stop you somewhere or make you ask a question directly, pointing you and things like that. But that kind of interactive session may not be possible at this point in time. But however, I know that as the intention is to implement, as I project few factors as decided by the government of India, there may be a lot of questions coming in. So one way to tackle it is maybe stop me in between and then ask questions. But the issue is looking at the number 380. If we allow that, what will happen is that there will be chaos and there will be questions, cross questions, and maybe we will not be able to even move to the second slide in the given 2 hours time. So since some orderliness has to be there, so two things we will do. One is that I'm sure that all of you have some paper and pencil before you, where when you get some doubts, you make a note of it, which you can ask after my session. So actually, I framed it in such a way that maybe 1 hour or 1 hour and 10 minutes I will talk, and then after that we will have a Q&A. So at that time you can ask. And some may not have the patience to write down and ask, wait, and all that. For such people, what I would suggest is that there is a chat box there. You can always open and then put down your question. And I will always be looking at the chat box then and often, I will not say then and there, but often I would be looking at the chat. If there is a question relevant to the slide, what I'm project or what I'm going to project, I will take it up and answer it in my session itself. If not, you can always feel free to reserve for the Q&A session and then ask questions. Is that okay? Wonderful. So with that, we start the session for the day, NEP 2020. I think, first of all of us should understand, is there a need? Just because for 34 years it has not been changed and we want to have a change, should we have the change? Or should we have the change because it necessitates, whatever that is happening in the present day education system, does it necessitate a change? So that conviction we must have. Otherwise, if out of 360, 380 people, if about 300 people are of the opinion that, the education in India is on top and everybody say that it is very good, and education in Tamil Nadu, in addition to that, it is all the more better than other places and so on and so forth. And so I am comfortable. I am okay with that. If you are one person sitting with that question, and it's a responsibility, that's the reason why I put this slide here, we need to understand. Now, if you feel that it is okay, I would request with the permission of Secretary Dr. Babai, I would say you please switch off and then go. Okay. So no, you will be wasting your time and it's not necessary at all. But at any point in time, if you have felt that no, not all that's going on in education system, in today's education system, in Indian context is not good. And it requires a change. It requires a change for better. If that iota of a thought pattern, thought has come your way earlier, or I'm going to make it happen to you, that's the reason why this slide here, only with that conviction, yes, it is needed. At this point in time, we need to change the system. If we don't change the system, we'll be digging our own grave. Sometimes, I use some unpolite statements like this, don't mind. But what I mean what I say. Okay, that's what it means. If you are not going to change now for better, please understand that it is equivalent to digging our own grave. we will not be able to progress, and the institution will not be able to progress, and so on and so forth. Okay. Why I say this is because of the present day education system. And you know the picture, what is there on to your left. You see all the animals there, different kinds and varieties, and different tastes and characteristics, and so on and so forth. And now the teacher there, when I say teacher, I mean you and me. And of course, listening to this, students will be very happy that yes, teachers are being attacked, and nothing wrong in doing it. I'm attacking myself in that because the system warrants that, and so I also do the same thing. I did the same thing earlier when I was in the institution. What do we do when we have a variety of animals sitting there? We are not equating you to animal students. Don't worry about that. Don't feel bad about it. It is just an example, right? So they have different characteristics, different learning styles, and different traits. And whatever that we teach them, it should be definitely make sure that it is interesting to them, and they learn it, and they are tested in the way that they can do. Okay, it is not done. Same question and same amount of time, and same expectation from all students. Now that itself is a first mistake that we have been committing for years together. And now the system, government of India has felt, rightly so, because all the other countries have started changing, but only we are a little slow to that. And so we want to change. Number one is that in the process, the system, it goes like a machine, and the input and output are all decided, and it is just a rote learning that is taking place. And of late, people have found out and realized that the creativity component and the discipline component and the intelligence components are not given importance. Okay, they drain out like what you see in that right hand side picture. That's what is happening. You may differ. If you differ, you reserve it for the end. Maybe I will convince you that all these pictures depict the reality and truth. There's no doubt about it. That's what every educationalist have realized, understood. They are vocal about it. And also, industries, they are very, very vocal about it. They are fed up with the kind of a system that's going on. So they want a change. So these are some of the reasons why we say that we need to change. And in that context only, we are saying that NEP 2020 is in place, and it is for us to utilize it. Of course, there are ifs and buts everywhere. We will discuss that later. You need to make up your mind that, okay, from today onwards, I'm going to think about, plan for the change, and I will bring in the change so that the lacuna in the system will go off, and all our students will become employable, and they will be enriched, and they'll become better citizens tomorrow. Okay. And having said that, even in the central government document, initially, in 1919, we had the first preliminary document of which NEP was released. It was NEP 2019. And then in 2020, last year, the final policy document was released. It is a voluminous document. It was released. And again, it's a policy document. All of us should understand that. And in 2021, February, the government of India has formed a team consisting of about 40 members, but mostly all secretaries and so on and so forth. Somehow I couldn't find the names of any down to earth, or I should not say that word down to earth, but those who are involved in teaching and learning or research there. They're all policymakers. There are 40 of them. They joined together. They have been given the responsibility of formulating the methodologies, implementation strategies. That document they wanted to release. The committee was formed in February 18th, if I am right, in 2021. And the first document has come in two parts, part 1 and part 2. I think that was released a couple of weeks ago, if I'm correct. You can find that all this, what I'm saying, is all there in the websites of MHRD or, the presently formed Ministry of Education and the UGC, AICT, everywhere you will find that. Nothing new. I'm not inventing anything new. Please understand that. Okay. And if you look at the document, you will find that the central government has categorically understood that education is in the concurrent list. For those who are not aware of this statement, concurrent, or the word concurrent is that, so it's a state government and central government together jointly, they decide on what has to be done with education. So that's why it is called as a concurrent list. So all the central government documents, in the policy documents, what they have released, and also the implementation document, which has been released recently, they have very categorically said that the institutions, the state governments, the universities and all that, they can adopt or adapt the NEP 2020. So this clarity all of us should have. It is not a mandate that whatever that is given in the policy or whatever that is given in the implementation document, what has been released now, everybody has to take it as a biblical truth and then follow it in toto without any deviation. No, it's not that way at all. Okay, they have been told that these are all the guidelines, broad guidelines with a common aim. The common aims and all that, what are the major factors and all that, I'll be touching upon now. But these are all the guidelines, and the institutions can adopt or adapt. Adapting is taking it as it is. Okay, so I don't want to change anything. Oh, it's a policy, is a 400-page document, and implementation strategy, what they have what they have released recently, another 400-page document, and it is coming in 2 parts. And when I looked into the pages there, right through, it is all about school education. Still, they have not come to college education and so on. In general, only they have talked about it. Even that has come to 400 pages. So when the college and other details come in, so it may come to another 400 pages. So that means we're talking about 1,200 pages of big voluminous work that the central government has done. And so some people may say, oh, no, I don't have the patience to read through all the 1,200 pages and then adopt, okay, as it is. I don't want to make any changes and all that, get into problems tomorrow. That may be one type, but that again, it all depends on the state government, right? So as a institution, I'm talking now, my focus is on Meenakshi because it's coming under state government. And if you are a deemed university, you are different. You are a central university, you are different, and all those things are there. Let me not go deep into it and confuse you more. But since you are in Tamil Nadu, you are affiliated to Anna University. If I'm making a mistake, I request some of the organizers to correct me, because now I'm going with some assumption. Okay, and so since you are coming under a state government, now we have to wait for a state government decision about whether they are going to adopt or they're going to adapt. Adapting is taking it and going through that, whatever be the number of pages, understanding it line by line, reading between the lines, and then have discussions internally within the state along with all the institutions coming under the state, and check whether it is appropriate. That is where the word, it may be appropriate. Not all may not be appropriate. Something maybe we have to tinker it here and there so that we will make it applicable and appropriate to our state. Then the state government will release the note once the central government has completed issuing all the implementation document. Even that is not yet over. Okay, that's where we are. But it's good that many institutions in Tamil Nadu also, they have started discussing about it. It's a good thing, and started preparing themselves, because please understand that tomorrow if state government comes out with anything, whether they're going to adopt it or adapt it, so after that, if they say, I want the whole institutions to follow this, and maybe in another 6 months time we want to see the change, that will be all of us will be caught unaware and will not be ready. and 6 months time to bring in that overall change in our system, in the education system, or in your case, in your college system, it's very, 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 very difficult. I'm not saying impossible, it's very difficult. So it's good that we have started thinking and started planning and orienting ourselves so that once the concurrent list approved by the state government also is released here, we'll be able to kickstart and jump into the implementation stage. So that's another very important point all of you should understand. Okay. Now, when I have gone through most of the pages, I would say, I'm very careful in using this word. I said I have gone through most of the pages. That means not all the pages. I've not read line by line. Wherever it is important, I have captured, and that is what I'm going to present it to you now. Okay. So still there is a lot of possibilities that I might have omitted something and things like that. Now I've been very careful in not adding anything which is not there, but there might have been some miss there. So that is one thing very, very important. And when I prepared this, and I always, I have the feeling that whenever you have bulky document like that, if you don't have time to go through each and every line and so on, you get into the swan's shoe and try to do what a swan will do. The peculiarity of the swan is that when there is milk and water, and all our scientists, they can separate water from the milk easily, right? You boil it and all the water will boil out, and what is remaining will be the pure milk. But, taking the milk out of the milk and water mixture, it's a difficult task. It's a very difficult task. It's indirect method only you will do it. But swan does it directly. And that's what I have tried to do, okay? There are certain things which are very, very important, like the pure milk there, and which will be very, 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 it's important that we should know, and we should prepare ourselves much earlier than the final document comes. So I have picked out all those things. And even whatever that I am saying now, even though it is from the same policy document and the partial implementation document of the central government, please understand that, you can analyze it in different angles. That's what the analysts will do later on. So it may be on a cultural angle, even the NEP, it's an education policy document. It can be understood, it can be analyzed from the cultural angle, political angle, legal angle, constitutional. When I say legal, I mean a constitutional angle, economic angle, and the core area angle, and they're talking about what is the need for that particular subject or pattern in this situation and so on, or purely on education angle. So there are so many things that are possible. So it's a very detailed document, and so much we can discuss about it in different angles. But right now I'm focusing on only the education angle. How to improve the education system so that the quality of education will improve. That is the only point, okay? And so later on, maybe if you want, we can have another separate discussion, how we should understand it from the cultural viewpoint, from the political viewpoint, from the constitutional viewpoint, and the economic viewpoint and all that. But at this point in time, for us, since it's a mixture, it is a mixed group, it's not necessary. This is only an awareness program. Okay, and before I now I'm going into the real document which I have read, the policy document. Tell you some important points. And before I say this about the changes the government intends to bring in the elementary system, starting from the elementary or foundational course, I just want to tell you that there are 10 focus points which are there on the whole document, right? These 10, I thought, I will just list out these 10 and make you understand that the whole policy and the implementation, everything directly or indirectly, right now or later on, will fall into one of these 10. And that means these 10 are critical for you to, start thinking about it for your institution. How will you integrate this? How will you bring in these points in your institution? Or, go one step ahead and say, okay, now if it is accepted, what will I do? Start planning and have some implementation strategy specific to your institution. Nothing wrong in doing it. See, all these exercises, don't ever think that, okay, tomorrow, if that point is changed by state government, what will happen? Don't worry about it. We can change it later on. Instead of, waiting for the final document, and then at one point in time, you got to change 100 things in your institution. If you start preparing and planning and having an implementation plan for your institution, later on, when the concurrent list from the state government is released, maybe about 20% things that you got to change. That will be an easier job than changing it in totem. So that's the reason why I say that you are on the right track, and even though not the right time, it's late, I would say. I'm sorry that I'm using this word. There are institutions who have started preparing themselves much earlier, and be ready. That's all. And waiting for the state government to tell its views, and then we'll all follow. We have to follow, and so we will follow that only. Okay. So we're not going against either state or central in this. So that standpoint, all of us should understand. Okay, now what are these 10 major focuses? This is again, I want to tell you that for the higher education, I told you that in future, I'll be focusing on higher education. I'll be focusing on what is appropriate to Meenakshi College, which is a affiliated college to Anna University coming under government of Tamil Nadu. Okay, so with that base, I'll be talking about it. The first focus is that, see, everything has to be multidisciplinary in nature. All these unitary type courses or institutions, if I can use some words which is there in the policy as it is, it will be phased out. That means they'll be kicked off. Sometimes we are hard-hearted or tough-headed people that sometimes, under we use some strong words. It will not strike us or get into our head. So that's why I don't mind using these words there. It document very clearly says that. Okay, if I keep saying that, no, I am a college focusing only on, let's say, I'll take up some college, right? Let's say that no, I am an arts college. And my college is known for English teaching, and it's a totally English dominant programs, and we want to retain that. And the policy all clearly says that if you are like that, okay, be there, enjoy for another 1 year, 2 years, then you'll be kicked out. Now that's the way the policy is designed. Please understand that, okay? Because they have found out that all these unitary type institutions are gaining expertise in one core area and saying that, I'm a master in that and all that. It has been found out that by experience, it's not going to help the students in any way. It may help teachers, it may help the institutions and all that, but please, education policy, when it comes, the prime factor is how it is going to help the students tomorrow, so that, they will be able to have a encouraging likely livelihood. Okay, that's the aim. And so it has to be multidisciplinary. So in future, everything that you do in Meenakshi, please understand, check whether it is a short-term course or a long-term course or a UG course or a PG course, whether it is a multidisciplinary in nature or not, because and you yourself have given it in the topic itself that you are going to focus on innovation and entrepreneurship. Okay, so why people are talking about multidisciplinary, various aspects, whatever that's happening in other areas, other fields, is because only then you can become innovative. Please understand that. Right? No, if I'm a mechanical engineer and I want to be focused only on mechanical engineering and not to look this side or that side and try to gather some mass from them and then from the other side and then take it into mechanical, I will not be able to innovate anything in mechanical engineering. Okay, that all of us should understand. So since government wants innovation to become a culture in every educational institutions, they say that go ahead with go in for multidisciplinary focus in everything that you do. Okay, unitary type is gone, and you should remove from your mind also. The second is, quickly 10 points I'll tell you. It's a holistic. That's what they mean. Again, there are certain words like this, which requires let's say correct definition, because there are about 380 of us are sitting here. If I give you, let's say, about 3 minutes time, kindly define holistic, the word holistic alone, in one big or small sentence. I'm sure that we will have about 300 different sentences. Maybe there will be 80 overlaps will be there, but 300 different definitions you can give for the word holistic. But the government has said that education in future will be holistic. What is meant by holistic by central government, state government, by your institution, by you, by me, it all can be different. So we have to wait and see. Okay. But since the focus is on innovation, focus is on employability, focus is on entrepreneurship, if you allow me to, define holistic in nature, I would say that, whenever you go to industries, when you ask the industry giants, their captains like CEOs and all that, they'll say that, we know that all of us, all of you are trying to inculcate knowledge to the students, but maybe they have commented about VIT also. They have said that, okay, VIT is very good. They are imparting knowledge. I'm talking about a 10-year-old story. Okay, right now we have changed, and industry say that knowledge alone is not enough for the students. They should be good in soft skills, and they should also be excellent in attitude. Okay, so ask is the terminology that they use, acronym that they use. Ask, that means attitude, good, positive attitude, and soft skills required, including adaptability and so on, and lastly, knowledge. And some of them jovially even say, sir, even if you don't give them knowledge, it's okay. Because that we can always give what is needed for our industry in 6 months' time. But, they need to be masters in soft skills and attitude. It's missing there, do that. So when, in my opinion, holistic definition is impart ASK in your institution, whether it is going to be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years. I'll come to the, you'll be surprised. What is this? Why 4 years? How is that 3 years? How can engineering become 3 years? And if it is a science college or arts college, how it is 4 years? We'll come to that later. But they say holistic, in my opinion, it is imparting knowledge, soft skills, and attitude, ASK. The third point is that since they want to increase the employability of the students, they are talking about 3+1 year, 4-year programs everywhere. Whether it is a BA course or a BSc course or an engineering course, it will be just 4 years from now on. Maybe they'll give some breathing time to organize ourselves, prepare ourselves, and orient towards this 4-year course. And maybe in another 4 or 5 years' time, you will find that the whole of the country will be only 4 years program. It will be only 4 years program. You must be wondering, why this 4 years program? I must explain this to you, then only you'll be able to appreciate. Otherwise, even the students sitting there, you might think, oh, what is this? So earlier I was thinking that in 3 years' time, all of us can get the degree. No, you will get your degree in 3 years' time. I'm talking about the future generations. That means in future, it's only 4-year degree. So that means they have to spend 4 years to get undergraduate. Yeah, that's how it is moving. I'll tell you, you don't have to, feel bad about it, but I'll tell you why and what are the ways of coming out and things like that. Okay. The point is that, see, the basis behind this NEP 2020 is the fact that India is a signatory in UN. Okay, United Nations has got member countries, and all of them have signed a document which is called as a Sustainable Development Goal document. They call that as SDG. And I'll be showing what are those 17 just for understanding. We'll not go deep into it. There are about 13 aspects to 17 aspects which every country has to oblige. And in that, I think the fourth one is education. And now India and all the other member countries are obligated to fall in line with the broad outline of the SDG 4, which is education. They talk about, educating everybody, making 100% literate in the whole world I'm talking about. And, inclusivity, opportunity for equal opportunity for everybody. Like that, there are so many things are there. And transferability and movement of students and all, country specific, state specific, all those things should go. These are all the broad aspects or focus of the Sustainable Development Goal of UN, and we're obligated to it. So all these 4 years are coming to that. You know that except India, in most of the other countries, forward-looking, not forward-looking, the developing countries, it's all 4-year degree. Okay, so if you do 3 years and then go there and ask for a master's degree, they'll say, no, we cannot admit you. You do another degree here, then only you will admit you. So 4 years minimum after schooling is necessary for admission to any institution across the globe. So India is also trying to fall in line with, rightly so, please understand that. I'll also tell you why we should do that later on, but it is rightly so, it has to be done. And that's what they're doing. So all the degree programs from now on, it will be 4-year UG. UG means it's 4 year. Okay. When I say this UG is 4 years, it's called as 3+1. And maybe when we go to that slide, you will also understand that they give an option. Okay, if you are feeling that 4 years is too much for me, I don't want to get that 4-year degree. No, I want to quit or get relieved.
All of you please wait. We'll Sarah rejoin. Sir, they are not.
Sir is not audible. Sir?
Not audible.
Sir, it's in mute, sir. Your office is in mute.
Sir? Sir, your mic is in mute, sir.
Sir, we are not able to hear, sir.
Sir?
Sir, we are not audible, sir.
Am I audible there? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Right. I'm sorry about this, and I'll go back to my slides. Okay. So I was just talking about 4-year degree program, and in that the 4th year, it's about preparing the individual for employment, so they can diversify. If they want to go for higher studies, they can do that 4th year research. If they want to go for teaching, the 4th year can be teaching training, teacher training, or anything. If it is employability, if there is some course. Colleges offering the 4th year employability skills and so on, they can do that, and entrepreneurship, they can take up anything like that, they can take it in the 4th year. So that's how they are making the whole UG program, so that everyone coming out will have a fixed career path before them. So that's about the 3rd point. That's a 4th year one, and a 4-year program. And quickly, the 4th point is about allowing the foreign university to come into the country, and that's also there as a part of the document. And that it's again, I would say that the competition should be there, and that's then only the education can improve, and country also can improve, and ultimately the quality also will improve. And so they have some stipulated norms. If they are within 100 QS world ranking, then the institution, if they want to if you want to come in and then enter into India and then establish a campus, they can do it. And the 5th point is about the entrepreneurship and employability. Again, they're focusing more and more on that. So they want every institution. Earlier, all the engineering institutions only had interactions with industries, and they were talking about industry institute interaction and so on. And now it says that all the institutions, whether it is engineering or science or arts or whatever it is, even if it's fine arts, they say get connected to the industry, and that is important. So maybe you can start planning about it. I'm sure that you must be having the industry interaction, industry institute interaction cell, but it has to be strengthened and so on and so forth, even for science and arts college. And the 6th point is about online mode. They're going to enrich or what shall I say, expand or encourage online offering of courses and programs more and more in future. And that is has got a lot of advantages, even though there are problems, like the problem what you and I had now. There's a break in connectivity. That may be there, but still the world is moving towards this, and so we have to move. And the volume that we have to cater to as far as education is concerned is huge, and so we need to do it. So the policy says that make sure that we are experts in online mode of education, offering online mode of education. Maybe it will start out with offering few courses, later on like in US, right? If you have studied the US system, you'll know about it. And many colleges will be offering online programs, and they will give option whether to do this or that and so on. And the major advantage is that accountability is increased. You may be wondering why, how, and all that. I can give a lecture on that, how accountability is better when you go for online education. Anyway, that's the point, and that is the 6th point, major focus of NEP 2020. And the affiliation system is going to be removed. Okay, so that means every institution will become autonomous. Maybe right now itself, you are autonomous. I'm not quite sure about the status, but if you are not autonomous, you will be given the autonomy. And they say that the autonomy what institutions have been enjoying earlier is not going to be the same thing. Autonomy with a greater freedom. That's what they say. How much freedom it's going to come, how much the institutions are going to enjoy is a $1 million question, I would say. And so we got to wait and see. But this affiliating system will go off. And they say that in India, by 2035, that means 10 years from now, or latest by 2040, all the institutions will be universities only. There will be nothing like, engineering college or arts college, science college and all that. This is similar to the US type, okay? Or everything will be universities. They'll be independently operating, given the autonomy, freedom to frame, conduct the examinations and award the degrees and conduct the convocation and so on and so forth. So that is what ultimately going to come. Final outcome of this one NEP 2020, if you ask me, I'll say that India is going to have thousands of universities like in US, independent. Now that will be a good thing for people who are doing a human service and who are ethical in style of functioning and who are really interested in promoting education. For others, they may misuse it, but they will feel for it later on. But that is the 7th point. And the 8th point is that, growth is another thing with this envisaging. And I'll be talking about that growth, what kind of a growth, what is required and so on. And the GER increase, gross enrollment increase, what is now is only 26 and government wants to increase to 50, double it in another 10, 15 years. Oh God, you can imagine, right? Now, what has been happening is for the last 70 years and what has been happening in the last 70 years, it has been happening again in the same quantum with a greater speed. That means in 10 years or 15 years time, doubling it. So that means, growth has to be there and growth has to be faster. And so autonomy, that's the reason why they are saying that we are going to give more and more autonomy and make the, the stick also a little harder so that people who are trying to cheat will, will be phased out and others will start growing. And the 9th one is they're talking about another strange thing. Now college, we're talking about internship. In engineering colleges, yes, we are talking about internship and it is a part of the curriculum. And if you ask me, truly speaking, many other institutions, I know in my past institute, it's a different ball game altogether. But in most of the engineering colleges, we know that they are struggling. They are not able to get the internship for all the students in industries. Industrialists are not interested in taking the students for internships. So many problems are there. That is only even with engineering colleges alone. But right now, this policy says that internship will be part of all the colleges, whether it is science or arts or whatever it is. You need to have internship, and so it will be forming part of the curriculum. So that means it's going to be a big differentiator, I would say. I'm sure that the government will also put some pressure on the industry and maybe give concessions. I don't know what they're going to do. I cannot comment on that, but they will also force industries to, adapt colleges and so on. So internship will be there. So that means all the students will be groomed properly in the 4 years itself to either to become an entrepreneur, to have the startup and so on, or to become an employee in an industry, or a teacher, or anything like that, or a researcher for PG. Everything is taken care of in that 4 years, and that's what the 9th point is all about. And the 10th and the last point is about technology. Everywhere they are introducing technology, right from kindergarten. They are bringing in technology there, and so multidisciplinary and technology you will find everywhere. And so I know that your institution must be doing well. I'm not quite sure about what's happening there, but this is a very important phenomena. Everyone should be tech savvy, and then all of it. That's the reason why they are saying that every institution should have online mode of education. So that's only indirectly forcing you to become technology oriented. So without technology orientation, not being tech savvy, please understand that you and your students and all of us and our students can survive for next 1 or 2 years. That is it. After that, they will not be able to move further. They'll be kicked out of the industries because all the industries have moved towards technology, digitization, and all the MNCs now talk about 100% digitalization. And the candidates who are going there for job, they don't carry pen or a pencil or anything like that. They don't. It's all technology. And whereas, where we are, and I know. So we need to change. Only if we change, students will be forced to change and they'll prepare themselves for 2025 job. So these are the 10 major, focus of NEP 2020. And if all these things are kept in mind, and then if you listen to the factors that I'm going to tell you quickly, maybe you will be in a better position to appreciate all that. Okay. And let me move to. Okay. The next slide tells you about it's not moving. Okay. Next slide tells you about the school education system changes. Again, we can talk about it for another 45 minutes or 1 hour, but I'm not going to do it because it's not necessary. But you know, the broad changes are that it was a 3-tier system and it is going to become a 4-tier or strictly speaking 5-tier system with 3 years, 2 years, 3 years, 3 years, and 4 years. So that way, before you take up post-graduation, okay, sorry, before you take up undergraduation. So it's a 3-tier system, that is a 4-tier system that has been brought in from 3 to 4. And why it has been brought in and what are the things expected, let us not discuss it, but it is not important for us at this point in time because you have enough stuff to bother about it now. From now on, it's directly about you. Okay, so the NEP says that in future, this will be the institutional structure and it is going to be restructured this way. That means ultimately it will be only university. Okay, and in university, there will be 2 types of universities will be existing. One is a research intensive university. There also there will be teaching and research, but it will be research intensive. And the other one is a teaching intensive university where a little bit of research will be there, but teaching will be predominant. So they are going to categorize in universities like this. And initially, all the colleges, affiliated colleges now, please understand here, there's nothing like, affiliated college here. Okay. See, all the colleges right now which are there will be given time to buck up, improve themselves, and given autonomy. Okay, so once an autonomous college, I think they again give you another 3 or 4 years, so that again you improve the quality. What is to be improved and how it is to be improved and all that will come in the implementation document, which is still not released by the central government. Even there, it has not been released. Only after that, concurrently, it has to be dealt with by state government and all that. But right now, it is not there. So all the colleges will become autonomous in 1 or 2 years' time, provided they improve themselves. If they don't improve themselves, they are very categorical in saying that they'll be phased out in a manner, in a stepped manner. Okay, so that danger is there. So in my opinion, all of us should understand that it is a question of survival for all the colleges. Okay, sometimes I'm talking a little too much, using some scary words, but that's a reality. You can't afford to be lethargic. You can't say that, oh, my college is doing well, I will do whatever that I've been doing for the last 30 years and I'll continue to do it. No, that's not acceptable by Indian government in future. So you need to change for better. So everyone will become autonomous degree granting colleges. After that, they give you about 3 or 4 years or maybe 5 years. I'm not quite sure about it. That's not very clear. You will move to either A or B. You will become a research intensive university or a teaching intensive university. You can choose if you want to be only a teaching college, and you can upgrade yourself to a teaching university. Otherwise, you move to research university, research intensive university. If you ask me, looking at the way the world is moving, see, if you are a teaching intensive university, and then if you are saying that I want to be an innovative university, and I want to become a university where a lot of startups will come. I want to become a university which will, make employability easier. I want many students to come and all that. It may not be possible. So, in my opinion, only very few institutions will join that stream of teaching intensive university. Majority of them will move to the left side, A-type research intensive university. So, you prepare yourself. Like what we are saying is that kickstart your research activities, have PhD programs, PhD research departments, and initiate students, UG, PG research, and so on and so forth. That is what you need to do. This is the major restructuring that is going to happen in 2020. And once you become a university, higher education institution, whether autonomous institution, or either teaching or research university, in addition to the regular 3-tier system that what we have right now, UGC, as per UGC, we are supposed to do teaching, research, and extension work. And even their extension work, not many are taking it seriously. Most of us are doing only teaching, but university, UGC very clearly says teaching, research, and extension work. But now, in the event of introduction of NEP 2020, all the higher education institutions, HEI means higher education institutions, Meenakshi is one among them. Please understand that you have additional responsibilities. Okay, since it is a change in the whole system, some universities will, or some institutions will be well equipped, and they'll be able to move ahead. Maybe start off with first gear, second gear, and move to the 4th gear very fast in 6 months' time or 1 year time. But there will be many institutions which may need hand holding. So this is another mandate has been support other HEIs. And it's better that, I would say that you look for institutions, like-minded institutions. You got to be very careful about it. If we don't do anything, if you say that, no, I don't want to help others, I don't want to handhold anybody else, you can afford to do that. But one day a compulsion will come from the government that government cannot hold everything, hold all the responsibilities. No, they have to share it with institutions. They will say, okay, no, you now don't seem to be supporting anybody, like-minded institutions. You better do this. They will force somebody onto us. That is a possibility. You got to cautiously work on it, be proactive. And involve in community engagement and service. All the UG's colleges also. You may have NSS, you may have other social service activities and all that. They're all sporadic in nature now. And many colleges have not taken it, and some because of compulsion, okay, yeah, I will do this community engagement and service and all that, maybe 5 days in a year. Okay, some other students, 100 students in a college where 1,000 students are studying, or 10,000 students are studying, they'll go out and say that, okay, I'm involved in company engagement. It's not that way. They are looking for greater involvement. All the students having that community engagement. All the students having community engagement. How we are going to do it, what the government is going to tell, we don't know. We have to wait and see. But it's better that we always orient ourselves. It's always good for the students to go out to a village at least on a Saturday afternoon, and then mingle with the community people and understand their culture, their language, and adapt to themselves. These are some of the things which will help the students. So let's do that. And the next thing is faculty development of higher education institutions. Very, very important. Even though all the 10 points, what I highlighted earlier as the overall crest of the whole NEP 2020, please understand that they are not easy items. And for none of the institution, it's going to be a cakewalk. Okay, you need to work on it. We need to do the preparation. First, planning the document, you can do it. Overnight, you can prepare it. But who is going to do it? So all the faculty members, all the staff members, all the students, right? This preparation is going to take a lot of time. And in that, faculty development is very critical. And you need to kickstart that right now. And if it's not only your own faculty, if you are good enough, you will be expected to help other institutions in their faculty development program and contribute to various fields of study. Okay. So for example, if let's say that, giving an example, I don't know what's happening inside the Meenakshi, but to contextualize, I'm saying, if Meenakshi College is known for engineering, it wants to be focusing on engineering. They say that, no, not enough. You may say, no, ours is multidisciplinary because it has got, electronics, electrical, civil, this and that, and all that. But from the document, from the policy, looks like that is not what is envisaged. There maybe once that is said, that's the reason why they are maybe they'll say, where is the arts program here? Do you have any science program there? Okay, that's what they call it by various fields, because ultimately Meenakshi is going to become a university, right? That's the aim. Otherwise, you will be pushed to some other university. Do you want to do that, or you plan yourself right from now on so that you will become a university? That's the point. And so we've got to prepare our students and faculty so that variety of fields will be there. Science will be there, arts will be there, engineering will be there. And if you have two campuses, like in your case, you join together, and then science there, and it'll come here, engineering here will go there, some kind of thing. But how we are going to do it and all that, we don't know. No guideline has been given, so we'll wait for it later on. But our mind should be ready to say that no, I'm not going to sit in an ivory towels saying that no, I'm an engineer, I will only talk about engineering college, nothing else. And so that's gone. And the last one is, you are supposed to support school education. Very, very important, right? You need to give a helping hand there. I'll come to that later on if the time is there. Otherwise, it is not necessary for us at this point in time, because they are saying that all the industries should help the colleges and schools, and they are saying that all the colleges should help the school, because now about the status of our schools, standard maintained by many of our schools. So government alone, sitting and then alone cannot achieve that quality improvement required in elementary schools and high schools, so on, government or non-government, whatever it is. But they want that to happen, because if nothing is done there, or what is to be done is not done in school education, please understand, nothing can be done in higher education. Okay, so that they understand it. So the responsibility of Meenakshi is going to increase. So you got to prepare yourself. Responsibility increase means it is not that it is not that the number of hours per day will be increased. It is not. It's only 24 hours. And responsibility increase means it is not that number of teachers is going to increase. Because please understand that teachers are not there. Even if you want teachers, qualified teachers are not there outside. So it's only all of us who are working now, orient our mind and get energized. How you'll be energized, I'm sure that Dr. Babai and others will take care of it. And you got to take up these extra responsibilities, extra 5 responsibilities. And as I told you, in 35, and in the document, certainly they say maybe 5 years extension may be given, because they know that it's a tough job. Gross enrollment ratio, which is now at 26.4 or something like that, to be increased to 50%, almost double by 2035. Herculean task. Amount of institutions, what is required now has to be, number of colleges has to be double. You get the point? And amount of money spent on higher education has to be doubled. Number of teachers, even now, the number of teachers, vacant positions have not been filled up, because it is not the money or anything else. It is lack of fund. It's not there. And no, it's lack of fund is one thing. But what is more important is that even in IITs, they have funds, but they don't, all the seats are not filled up, because they say that we don't have qualified people. So qualified people are not there. But if you want to achieve this 50%, please understand that the number of faculty members, qualified, good, committed faculty members, it has been doubled. How we are going to do? Big question mark. And the challenge is before us. And can we take it lightly and all that? If you ask me, I will say that we should not. As a responsible citizen, we should not, and we cannot afford to take it lightly because of this picture. That's the reason why government is also very, very categorical in pushing things forward fast, so that the country can be saved. Country as a whole, all the states, all the human beings can be saved. See, if you just look at this picture, now it shows how the population increases in India. And this is specific to Indian population over the years, starting from 1950, how it has been increasing, how it is going to increase in future also. It's all predicted there. See, maybe 10% this way, that way, plus or minus will be there, but immaterial. But the trend is very, very clear that in India, the middle bulk is increasing. Do you see that middle portion is becoming bulky and bulky? That's because India is, as all know, I don't want to give a lecture on that. It's a young populated country, and people were the age group of 16 to 25 or 30 maximum in India. Not even in China. Please understand that their total population is more, but the young population is much lesser in China than in India because of various policies, government policies, and all that. So our country is flooded with youngsters, right? And they are in plenty. And what will happen if they are there as it is, without getting educated, without getting the skill training, what is needed so that they are employable? So they'll be jobless, they'll be idling around, running around. So all sorts of problems. Now I don't want to name it. It's all being recorded, public, it's going. So I can list out what all will happen with those kids who are not educated and who don't develop skills. Okay, so that's the reason why it is necessary this bulky young population of India is taken in the right direction, and all of them are educated. All of them should go to school. All of them should go to college and get all the skills needed so that they will find a job. Otherwise, the whole country is in danger in the sense that, as you see in the last line, right? Now we are enjoying the demographic dividend. Everybody is coming to India because now population is more, youngsters are more, and saleability is more here. So all the products are dumped here. But a situation will come where all this demographic dividend will become a demographic disaster if you and I sleep over all these things. That is why it is very, very important that we need to take it up in the right spirit and move ahead and educate all our youngsters. Now I will skip this, and I already told you the reason behind this 4 year, because we are trying to be in tune with developed countries abroad so that we can also develop, become a developed country tomorrow. Okay, and the fourth one, as I told you, is a quality education. Whatever that is prescribed there, expected there, we're trying to fulfill. We're not saying that we're fulfilled, trying, but here it says where we are standing. It's about still not reached about 48 or 49. That's where we stand. Okay, a long way to go, but we are in the right direction. Some path we have taken, we are moving. That's good. Now, I told you about the gross enrollment ratio, and so that will be possible only if NEP is taken up in the right spirit. Because if everybody is educated, if they become useless like what it is today, saying that only 10% of engineers are educated, and somebody saying only 15% are educated, employable, and so on and so forth, what is the use? They will not get a job. So the problem is not going to be solved. So there has to be a total change, and the mammoth of the challenges before us, I've just written down here only to understand that maybe for students and all that may not be an issue. Maybe for people like Dr. Baba and all that may look little important, so they will understand the gravity of the situation. And so much has to be done, and time is not there. Okay, so this is what I'm just talking about. Gap is more, and even if you happen to get that 50%, please understand that still remaining 50% will be remaining there. Right now it is only 26. You get the point. And there is 74% of the youth are there outside. What are we going to do with them? Can government alone do something about it? It will be very difficult. So we have to take the responsibility. All the educational institutions, both schools and colleges, should take up their responsibilities. Okay. So in this context only, now government is saying that to go for online mode. Can you double the institutions in the next 5 years or in next 10 years? See, it has taken 70 years to build all these buildings and these institutions. In 10 years, 15 years, can you build it? It's not possible. Humanly, it is not possible. Okay. So we have to have some innovative methods by which this bulk of the population, the remaining 76 who are there outside the college now, they have to be educated. They have to be trained on different skills. So go for open online distant learning program. On that context only, all institutions are expected to gear up so that they will have online program. Please understand that if you offer online program, it will be a little tough and a little more extra job for teachers and all that. And initially, struggle will be there and all that. But please understand that as years pass by, institutions will gain. Number of students enrolling in your institution will be more. That means more income. That means salary of the teachers can be increased. I'm sure that Dr. Babai will agree with me on that point. Okay, I know about Meenakshi, their philosophy and all that. They're not going to, swindle everything and take it away and then go home. Okay, it's going to be shared with the teachers. So all the teachers, you must be happy that your value is going to increase, and the students, you should also be doubly happy that from this institution you are going to get all that needed for employability and maybe job security later on, and going up the ladder faster. That's where we are heading to. Online mode, do it. And what you're going to do, the first thing what I would ask you is that, do you have an online MOOC studio? I'll call that as a MOOC studio. Have you established how professional the MOOC studio is, and how many courses are being prepared? The MOOC courses are being prepared in your MOOC studio in Meenakshi. I don't know whether you have the answer or not, but at least if at all we happen to meet after 6 months' time, when I ask you teachers, do you have a MOOC studio? Have you established it? Is it a professional studio? Then you must be able to give an answer yes. Then only you are in the right track. Otherwise, you are not. And this I told you very, very clearly, that single stream HEIs will be phased out over time. So they are not saying that, okay, 2 years time I'm going to give you, or 1 year time I'm going to give you, and all that to phase out. If you are going to call yourself an engineering institution alone, or if you want to call yourself as a law institute alone, law college alone, or a science college alone and all that, but they're going to give time. And how many years, I don't know. Maybe 2 years, in my opinion, will be a right thing, but the implementation document will tell rightly how many years. But the implementation document of the school has given what is needed for the teacher training colleges in HEI. That's why I'm just a little scared that the measure is going to be very stringent. Otherwise, you start working on it tonight, you may be late tomorrow. I repeat it, okay? Because in teacher education, all the teacher educations are standalone institutions. Okay, they only teach B.Ed programs, nothing else. Very rarely some other programs. And they are saying that in 1 year you buck up. In 1 year, if your quality is not going to improve and you're not going to fall in line, we may phase you out. So that's a strict norm that has come for teaching institutions, teacher education institutions. But science and all that, the second document, it will come. When it will come, I don't know. Maybe whether it has been released today or not, I don't know. I have not looked at the website of the Ministry of Education today. So if it comes out, it will be a very strange thing and it will be difficult. So buck up, and all single stream HEIs converted into multiple stream HEIs. Okay, that's what Meenakshi has to do. And across the fields that I've told you very clearly, it's again and again coming, is multidisciplinary and transdisciplinary. Transdisciplinary is, sometimes people always say that, okay, my college is known for computing and it's a computer engineering college, and no, we will have physics which is related to it. We will have maths added to it, it's related to it. Statistics, all those things are fine. But again, it's only multidisciplinary, it's not transdisciplinary. What nowadays, everywhere, you must have seen this or heard about this, they are just trying to bring in fine arts into every stream. They say that only then people will have a broader outlook, they'll be able to think differently, and they can become innovative. And so even in engineering, do you have a fine arts, if an engineering institution, you must have a B.Ed fine arts program being offered, then only it becomes transdisciplinary, some unconnected areas being connected. So this is what is happening, right? See, the green one information is very critical. Clustering will be thought of as a means of achievement. For all institutions, may not be possible to, increase the disciplines, and then increase the number of departments, increase the number of faculties, like, okay, I'll have science, law, and humanities, and engineering, and things like that. It may not be possible. And again, medicine now, all those things they are saying is, we know that. So in that case, they are giving an option. You now have some policy where you can cluster with some of the institution, join with some of the institution. In this context, the modern industry word phrase, co-creation. They say that join with the institutions, like-minded. I am putting it in between like-minded, and make sure that all the different streams are coming under, so that you will get rid of this single stream HEI formula and be safe tomorrow. Okay. And they say that affiliation of colleges to universities will go off before 2035. Of course, 10 years, it may look to be a comfortable time for all of us. And what they say is that in 10 years time, every institution, and I will say Meenakshi institution, will be relieved of all the control. That's why you see that red cross there. So nobody is going to hold on to your kudmi and then say, hey, turn this side, turn that side. That's what is happening now everywhere throughout India. But that's what they are interested in removing. Whether will it be removed or not, we don't know. And is it possible to remove 100%? I'm doubtful, because we know the mindset of people are not same. Not all institutions are genuine institutions. So government will have some methodology by which they will give freedom, and at the same time there will be some strict. That's what I told you earlier, that the rod will be tougher rod, and we got to be very careful about it. Okay, and but in my opinion, I would say that it is a happy note. And so how to move? So mentoring should be given on capability building, academic credentials and curricular benchmarking, teaching and assessment methodologies, governance reforms, financial robustness, and administrative efficiency. All these things are necessary. You may say that all those things are there now and all that, but what is changing is now in a different level altogether. None of us can be complacent about the system that what we are following. It is not good. Not good enough. It may be good according to us, but good according to the international standards, it is not good enough. So we need to work on all these things. And so far, it's been only the knowledge component we have been talking about it. But right now, as I told you earlier, industries want it, and for their own life skills, what they want is that they want to have skills, some certain skill sets, so that they can become employable. That's one thing. And or maybe employers tomorrow, startup companies and entrepreneurship and so on and so forth. And they also should have, good attitude, which is missing in many of our cases. Okay, one small incident I'll tell you where we have gone wrong. Now, to make you understand that we have gone wrong terribly in inculcating the right positive attitude among our own kids, is that, see, we are blaming everybody, saying that, I went to the shop the other day. Suddenly, when I wanted to communicate, it's a grocery shop. Okay, a mall like a grocery shop where we go and pick up, and if there is a doubt, we ask somebody there. Suddenly, last week I went, and then I found earlier I used to see only black faces there everywhere, both boys and girls. And suddenly last week, when I went there, 2 weeks back when I went there, I saw all fair, complex people there standing. And then I asked them something, they're not able to understand what I'm asking. Okay. They started replying in Hindi. That's a reality. Please understand that. Okay. And then when I asked the owner there, he is very much a Tamilian. He said, sir, how people, they're saying that, I cannot do this job, I cannot do that job, I want salary raise every 6 months and things like that. There's no other go, sir, but these boys and girls have come from Jharkhand or someplace like that, and they are willing to do job for the amount that I'm giving, which which I can afford. I cannot give them what they want. What I can give is only what I can afford. So already people are getting transferred. What happened to all these boys and girls who have been working there earlier? They're all graduates from our own colleges. Please understand that. So there is something wrong there, right? So we need to develop that aptitude. It's only an aptitude issue, nothing else. Everybody is, living in a dreamland. We make them live in a dreamland that we cannot do it in future. So 21st century skills, it's not even ordinary skills that what we been importing earlier on. There are different skills. I will not go deep into it because already we have crossed my time limit. And quickly I will move on. See, in the 4-year UG program, you have multiple entry and multiple exit. I repeat, multiple entry and multiple exit. That means after maybe 2025 or maybe 4 years, or 26, let us say, if there is a delay in implementation and all that, by 26, so sometimes, you will find in Meenakshi, some girl or a boy will come and say, well, ma'am or sir, I don't know the combination there, the proportion of men and women working there in the higher position. They may say that, sir, I have done this 2 years in Mumbai, and say I want to have a degree here. And so the remaining 2 years, I want to study in Meenakshi. And you have to give admission, and that will become a mandate for them. Please understand that. Of course, there are some norms and all that which you have to talk about it and all that. That does not come out. That will come out in the implementation document, which is not ready. So multiple exit and multiple entry. Another dangerous situation is that, imagine, I will not name your college, assume that some other college is there where it is running with 5,000 people, and something drastically goes wrong there. And see, there are it's a 4-year degree program, and so there are about maybe 2,500 in each year. Suddenly, if the first year and second year students, if they want to leave, you have to give them TC, because they have an option to go and study in some other college, which according to them is good. So that danger is there. Please understand that. So that means all of us have to be on our toes. Make sure that we give what is needed for the students in the form they need, in the way they need, so that they'll be employable. Okay. So it's both the stick and the carrot, both are there. And so we need to really prepare ourselves very well. First of all, change our mindset. Complacency should go, and sitting in the what do you call that as comfort zone should go out, and we must be ready for this. So anybody can come in and join after, can go out after 1 year, 2 years. You give a certificate and ask them to go, and give an advanced diploma and then ask them to go, or you just give a bachelor degree, ask them to go, or after 4 years you give bachelor's degree with the research or with the teaching, with entrepreneurship, employability skills, and then ask them to go. And a culture will come where people will always stay for 4 years. That's what government is expecting. That's what will happen ultimately, because they will not be complete without 4 years. They will not get jobs. With 3 years, if they exit, saying that, oh, no, I cannot study for the 4th year and all that, no company will employ. So that situation will come. So that is the change, drastic change that is coming up in UG programs. And since that is coming in, please understand that all the PG programs will become 1 year duration. So if it is a 3-year UG program, we had 2 years PG, and now in 4 years, all the degree programs will become 1 year duration. So all of us should, start preparing ourselves. Okay, I'm running so many PG programs. I have so many faculty members recruited for PG programs, all 2-year PG programs. Now, what will I do with this excess staff? What will I do with excess classroom? It's our headache. You have to do it. Plan well. Right from now on, work on it. Okay. The number of years of study in PG will be just 1 year. Okay. And the 5-year integrated multidisciplinary bachelor master program will also be encouraged. Initially, there was a resistance. But 10 years ago, government put a stop to it. But later on, many colleges started offering, IIT started offering. Now it is become an accepted norm. it is encouraging now. Now in the new education policy, they are saying that we started. That will be good. 5-year program that will make the students complete and employable and so on. Okay. And for PhD, again, they say that either PG or 4-year UG will be eligible. Okay, PG or 4-year UG. No, I'm sorry, PG or it's a 5-year integrated program will be eligible for PhD. Okay, and they are doing away with all MPhil degree program. So those with the MPhil degree program, please understand that no more MPhils will be there. So you can be proud saying that I'm holding a degree which others are not having, but please understand that your value in the market will not stand as it is now. You better start doing your PhD straight away, because in future, everybody will be required to have doctorate degree in colleges. Otherwise, you will not have any place. Now, if you are retiring next year, year after, it's okay. But if you are going for voluntary retirement next year, year after, it's okay. Otherwise, if you are thinking that you are going to have a service for 3 years or 4 years and more, please register and finish your PhD faster. That should be your planning process. Okay. And another important thing is that once you join PhD, after this 4-year UG and 1-year PG program, if you join PhD, it's mandatory that all of them will be trained on teaching skills. It is not that all PhDs will become teachers, not necessary. That is not what the government is expecting also, but they have found out that the teacher education will make everybody bold and their communication will improve. Their depth of knowledge in a particular subject when they teach will be improved. So 1 year of, input, maybe it's a course only, not 1 full year, but 1 or 2 courses on teacher training will be there, compulsory for all PhD students. That's going to come up. As this is again, all as far as the policy is concerned. Okay. So expectation from the higher education institutions, focus on research and innovation, an incubation center to encourage startup culture. You may say that my college is only offering BA economics or BA English and so on. But again, please understand that you got to shift gears, and then you add some more programs. Some science should come in, some engineering should come in, and so on. Either do it or join with some other cluster with some other institutions. And when you do that, make them employable or make them entrepreneurs. So that is the underlying. Not all will become entrepreneurs. Please understand that. But at least we must groom them, make them courageous enough, fit enough to become an entrepreneur. And start research centers in multidisciplinary, transdisciplinary frontier areas. This I am telling you because you must plan to become a research-oriented, research-intensive university. That's the right term. Research-intensive university in the next 10 years' time. That should be your aim. But if you want to, if you have decided for some reason, if you say that, no, I don't worry about anything else, I don't want to do research, I want to become, elevate myself as a teaching intensive university in the next 10 years time, then you don't have to worry about research, but don't blame me later on for not guiding you properly. Okay. And technology development centers and research towards a community oriented, down to earth, socially relevant themes. Now, this is another emphasis that they are giving now. So maybe when the PhD thesis are submitted, or MTech thesis or ME thesis are submitted, or MSc project work is done, they would like to see some, social connectivity there and industry academic linkage, which I have told you earlier. And I can go on. And now, you are recorded it. I'm sure that all these slides will be with the college, and maybe you can carry on and see all those things. I'll just tell you the draw 1 or 2 points alone from this. Please understand that internship, what I told you, is compulsory for all the undergraduate students, science or arts or engineering, and they are going to give more importance for formative assessment, and so it's more than summative assessment. It's not that final examination will carry more marks. final examination will carry least number of marks. And so continuous assessment, the formative assessment will be given a lot of weightage and so on. And criteria-based credit system, you know about it. And I think that is all. And flexibility in the curriculum that you got to bring in. I think slowly you are bringing in, but what is expected is much more than what is there now. Okay. And the concept of tenure appointment is going to be introduced. So all the colleges will take it. Government will become mandatory, but in private institutions like Meenakshi, the management will have an option to have a tenure appointment to see you for next 2 years, 3 years, whether you work hard enough to develop the quality or not. Otherwise, you may be asked to go out. I know that in private institutions, at least in this part of the country, the same thing is happening, but we don't call it as tenure appointment, but they're going to call it. So, all the teachers, all of us should be prepared for it. And no transfer of faculty members is not applicable to Meenakshi anyway. It's for government colleges. They're not going to bring in. And conduct bridge courses wherever necessary, because it's all going to be multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary. And so they already introduced that, even without maths, they can do engineering. I don't know how many of you know about it. Okay, so that kind of a change is coming in. So I never knew about maths, and I was not that keen. But when I finished my +2 with the marks and I want to get into engineering and do engineering, you can join. But the colleges have to do a lot of bridge courses. So college has to gear up. How will you bring in all those things and so on, and making it online, virtual apps and so on. I can go on like this. But quickly, the positive side of the policy is that mostly it is only do as of now. The policy, it will be like that only. It's only do. Not much on don'ts. So implementation policy can bring in don'ts also. But when the real implementation comes, definitely there'll be don'ts. And so we should not be carried away by the rosy picture of the policy. Policy is a bigger picture. Okay, it's good in the right direction. So we must be happy about it. Implementation to be done jointly with many partners in stepped manner. That is again a good thing. They are not saying that I'm giving only 3 years time. Before that, you buck up, otherwise get lost. Government is not saying that. In a stepped manner, they are going to handhold you, give you options. If you say that I don't have any institution to help me out, they will attach you with some other institution. Whether they are going to help you or they are going to take the help from you in a jovial manner, I'm just commenting it. It's all a big question mark, but that's going to happen. Clustering will happen. And carrying institutions, instead of closure time, they'll be given some more time for backup and all that, but you will be blacklisted. And please understand that students will not come and join. So better you don't get into that erring institutional list at all. And fees fixing freedom will be given, provided they say that quality is maintained and it's a NPO, not-for-profit organization, and accreditation, depending on accreditation, transparency you maintain and all that. Even now, I think it is there, but at least they are saying in writing that fee fixing freedom will be given. So that's a positive side. Okay, and a lot of innovations in the curriculum and pedagogy and all that they are bringing in. And maybe at this point in time, it is too early, I would say, because other major things that we need to take. So later on, we have to do it. And this is very, very important. Equality equation is changed right now. Now, the public and the private institutions, they are categorical in saying that the private and the public institutions will be viewed on par, whether it is for funding or any other treatment, which is not happening right now. People, and because I worked in an university, government-funded organization, institution, and I worked in VIT, it's totally private funded, and I know the disparity between in the treatment, but now they say that that's going to be removed. So that's a good thing. And another important thing is that all these universities names also, like unit type university, deemed university, affiliating university, state private university, that everything will be removed and everything will be called as university. If it is Meenakshi is becoming a university, it will be Meenakshi University. You can just attach your prefix or any other phrase to it. Okay, Meenakshi University of Science and Engineering, or Science and Engineering, something like that. You can do it. Anything you want, you can do it. But it's only university, no affiliating university, deemed university, and all that will be there. So that is there. And another very, very important thing is that boundary lines between science and humanities is going to be removed. Curricular and extracurricular activities is going to be removed, and regular and vocational stream is going to be removed. And the senior, junior students in academic year, I'm a first year student, I'm a second year student, that also will be removed. This will happen in the next 5 years. Please understand that. So this is a major change, our mindset change. Okay, if I ask engineering college, for example, will say now you know that the demand is there more for computer science, and I'm sure that computer science faculty members will be sitting in IIC tower, whereas the less popular branches they'll be Pambol and they'll be sitting in one corner. So that is going to be changed. Boundary lines will be removed. Whether it's science and humanities or this engineering and that engineering, everything will be removed, because anybody can take any course. That's the kind of flexibility which is coming in. We have that in VIT, so I can confidently say that it's possible everywhere. And the senior junior, the person who has done a 3-year program can go and join with a first year student and then do one newly introduced course for the first year. If they want, they can do it. That kind of flexibility. So these are all the major changes that the government is bringing in. And for us, for the institutions, for the teachers, and for the students, we must have a change in mindset. That is going to take a lot of time. And academic bank of credit is already they have brought in, and all the credits will be transferable. Everything will be available in digital mode, and so people can move from one college to another college at random and freely. That's what the document says. Freely may not be the even for a common man like me, I know that it's just not possible, right? One college will be charging 40,000 rupees. Another college will be charging maybe 3 lakh rupees for the same course. And if somebody wants to leave that 40,000 rupees college and then go to this thing, how will they pay? Now, which fees will they pay? All these problems are there, but anyway, at least government has made it in mind to make sure that students, given that boundary, they can move from one institution to another institution. And internationalization is again given importance so that we can be on par with other institutions abroad, and we must kickstart. And so initiative to commence from yesterday, not from, I said that today you start, but I said that, what are the things that you need to do about changing your mindset and how to work on digitization and so on. You should have started from yesterday. If you're not done it, it's okay. At least start from today. And all these things, paper cuttings, just showing it to you, so to tell you that already it is come in, and government is serious about it. A formulation of regulatory bodies. They are trying to remove the UGC, ACT, and all that. Whether they will be able to do it or not, I don't know. But at least Higher Education Commission of India is going to come. In paper, it's all very good. Very good, forward-looking, and so on and so forth. But there are some concerns also. Word secular is missing. In Indian context, education is a secular subject. And world over, education is a secular subject. And somehow I know, for a reason I don't know, a secular term is missing. So these are some concerns. And the word like holistic appears many number of times. Quality appears many number of times. Autonomy, flexibility, employability, self-reliant. These are all common terms which is appearing in maybe 10, 15 times in the document in various places. But, it's not defined clearly. As I told you earlier, when the definition was not given clearly, if it is not understood by me, accepted by me, please understand that I can understand it differently. And you can understand, each one of you can understand it differently. So that's the danger there. So that's a major concern. And 3 language formula and its implementation, what kind of confusion it is creating. I'm not going into the other side of it, but at least I would say that given the scenario, looking at the employment situation here and the number of youngsters available in India, even if all the vacancies are filled up, please understand that all the educated youth in India will not have enough jobs. So they have to look for jobs elsewhere. All the other countries are, longing for youngsters to come to their country. So this 3 language formula, is it the languages what we have been discussing now, or should it be English, Spanish, and then Germany, German, so that people can move out and then expand and bring in foreign money into India? lot of concerns are there. Major concerns, we have to be serious about it. Looks like higher education system is being centralized. That's what it happens. Centralization in general management principle is not a good thing, and decentralization is everything. But anyway, and that's why they say it's a concurrent subject, and the Tamil Nadu government may take it as may do the necessary things there. But as it is now, it is a centralized system, becoming more centralized. Increase in GR, its fund requirement is huge. Okay, and and other schools and all that. Let us not worry too much about it. I'll not scare you more. I'll stop here. And what I would say is that start now. Don't miss the bus. Don't think that just because I said that it's concurrent and Tamil Nadu government norms is yet to come and it may come later on and all that. So I have time. No, you don't have time. You start today, otherwise you will miss the bus. So with this, I conclude, and thank you very much for your patient listening. I don't know whether you've been listening or your video is on and you're doing some other work. I'm not quite sure. That's the danger of online webinars and all that. But however, thank you very much for the opportunity for your listening. And within the time available, or if you want to extend the time also, it's feel free. If you have any questions, you float it.
You said that centralized control agency will be there in some form or other.
Yeah.
And if so, I'm rather worried because all the controlling agencies, like let us say Madras University, AICTE, they're all still very, what can I say, stubborn.
Yeah.
And they are controlling like anything.
True.
And of course, state government for the fees and fees hike, everything. They are also controlling as.
Right.
To be frank with you, what I feel, Anna University and UGC are better than all the other control, including NIRF. I don't believe in it. There are lots of faults and holes in that. So that way, how are they going to have that controlling agency so that all these copies, they will not copy the AICTE adamancy and Madras University old school thoughts and the NIRF, I'm sorry to say, not clean. All these things will not be there in the controlling agency. How are they going to do it? Otherwise, it is meaningless to have new education policy.
Very true, ma'am. You're putting all the issues, challenges in clear terms. These are all, questions which we don't know how it is going to be managed. Initially they said that AICTE and UGC will be merged, and only higher education HEIC will be there. Higher Education India Commission will be there, which will be the overall facilitating body. That's the terminology that they used. But even now 2 years passed, but still it has not been possible for the government. There are ifs and buts there, and ego issues coming in and so on. So how it is going to be organized, we don't know. But anyway, policy says that these strangleholds will be removed. It will be removed, it will be okay. Now you talked about Madras University, but Madras University, tomorrow, after 10 years time, so Madras University will be there, but they may be managing about 5-6 colleges under them. That's all. Otherwise, now Meenakshi University will become like Madras University. So you will become a university in 10 years time. If you plan well, that's what should happen. If not 10 years, at least 15 years, it will happen. So I think we must have that in mind, prepare ourselves. But of course, this 10 year, 15 years passage, the path will be full of thorns and a lot of challenges. We've got to fight over and then make sure that educationalists work together and achieve most.
Actually, the officer who will be sitting in this combined controlling or facilitating, they know the meaning of controlling only today. Facilitating, they are talking, but they are not practicing.
Very true, very true. So that's a reality we know. That's why, I here also, the same thing will happen in Meenakshi also, ma'am. It's a mindset of the students should change. Mindset of the faculty should change. Mindset of the management should change. And same way there, the mindset of the people sitting there should change. Right now, there is a big block there. And so God only should come and help our education system, I would say.
That is the clean, total overhauling process is really required, not only in the colleges, in the mindset of even of the great officials.
Very true, very true. Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. And maybe, time will prove that either they have to change or, at least give way for youngsters to take up. Or if they're not there, that's what, as I told you earlier, it's a do or die situation. Change our mindset, implement new innovative things, and be in tune with other countries in the world. Otherwise, we will dig our own grave. We should not allow it to happen. It's a do or die situation.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much for all of you.
Others, we can ask questions, please. Others.
Yeah, feel free. If I can answer, I will definitely answer. Otherwise, I'll say hands up and then leave. See, this is one another point. See, if you ask me, is it that they don't have any doubt? I will say no. All of you must be having some doubt or other, but you are not coming forward, right? Something is holding you. I don't know what. So that is that autonomy, freedom, and even if you ask a blunder question, a highly idiotic question, you should not mind. Academicians, the students should have the guts to stand up and ask. Let me see how many teachers and how many students are asking questions. At least one from one student and one from teacher should be there. Before
one teacher should ask someone.
Yeah. Please.
Then Dr. Anand Samuel will say, MSCC is, the teachers are dumb.
I don't know what to say. They are proving it. Don't get it otherwise. I think HOD CSC is going to talk. Ask, please ask. Then only I will have the confidence that yes, Meenakshi is in the right track.
Sir, actually, the session was so interesting. I understood, sir. I have no doubts on this for now. So we have to think about becoming a university in a duration of time. So we'll prepare ourselves towards that with the guidance of our madam.
Okay. So Monica ma'am says that she will be give a helping hand to the management to become a university. Okay, wonderful. At least one student to ask a question or a comment.
I have a question. What about the skill-based education incorporated?
Sir, come again.
Skill-based education in NEP.
What education?
Skill-based.
Skill-based education.
Yeah. So I told you, in all the programs, so the difference between curriculum and co-curriculum is going to go off. And the curriculum, the model curriculum, what they're framing, maybe which will be released in the next 1 month or so, you will find that there will be some core subjects, lot of elective subjects, and you'll find that many skill-based subjects will be there taking part, or it will be forming a place in all the programs. It's not that some programs are skill-based, some others are not skill-based. So every individual, whatever be the course, it may be BA English, but there also they will have skill-based. People have identified more than 70, 75 skills. I don't have the numbers, right? So many skills are there. So one skill or other, it will be forming a place in your regular subjects. So it will be, they will not be only theoreticians, they will be skill-based, ready to, operate graduates coming out. It will be there inherent in all the subjects, in all the programs, not the subjects.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Still no student has...
Student, come on. நீங்க யார் ஸ்டூடெண்ட் கேள்வி கேக்குறீங்களோ உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது நான் gift கொடுப்பேன்.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. So that's fine.
ஸ்டூடெண்ட் கேக்குறவனுக்கு கட்டாயம் உண்டு. Third year ஏதாவது கேக்குறான்.
Third year. Shankaranarayanan to everyone. How would the transition from I couldn't read it.
Again,
One second. How would the transition from regular curriculum to NEP occur? How difficult it would be for students and teachers to adapt to this type of education? It's a good question. I am happy about this question. If you ask, I'll give a connotation. If you ask somebody whether this subject is tough or not, yes, no, somebody will say this subject is tough, so this is easy. Somebody else may say the tough subject as an easy subject, and then the easy subject as a tough subject. It's all varies, right? So you will understand that it depends on two things. As I understand, with I've been teaching for 44 years, I can definitely tell you whether the subject is tough or easy. It is not on the subject, right? It depends on the student, how much he loves the subject, number one, and depends on the teacher, how effectively, interestingly teaching, so that motivating the students. So it depends on both. The same way, for this question also, it's like a subject. Any subject is a good subject. Like this NEP is also a good entity, right? If I appreciate the changes, if I start loving it, if I understand that, yes, this is going to be good to me, and I will somehow make sure that I will change my mindset and prepare myself to do it. If you, with that mindset, if you start, it will be easy for the students. Or if you think, oh God, I hate computer, and I took only English because I hated computer. But now you're saying that I have to become a digital savvy for tomorrow's job. Oh God, I don't want to do that. If that kind of mindset if you have, then you can just do a degree, but your job will not be there. No industry will take you without any computer knowledge with you. So it all depends on how much you love it, how much you appreciate it, how much you motivate yourself. Of course, your teachers are there, management is there to motivate you. They will do it, but mostly it depends on you. For this question to that third year mechanical student, well, gentlemen, please understand that it all depends on you. If you like it, you will love it, you will change, you will benefit it. If you don't like it, you will not love it, and you will not adapt yourself to the new situation. And tomorrow you are sure to suffer. The choice is yours. Good afternoon, sir. From a recent article, I came to know that Karnataka has implemented NEP for the current academic year. Could you please tell your views why our government has not taken this step yet? Okay, see, it's a very sensitive question anyway. I will answer it. Right now, as on date, as far as my knowledge goes, out of 28 plus 8, 28 states and 8 union territories, I don't know whether I'm right in saying 28 or 29, whatever it is. See, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh and Haryana, to my knowledge, they have started implementing it, Toto. So they have adopted. They have adopted even though it is not necessary. You don't ask me why. You know the answer. Or look into the paper or ask your parents. They will tell you why they have adopted. That's politics. I don't want to get into that. Okay. All the other states, they are now, so the option is there before. If you want, you can adapt. You can adapt here and there. So take the points here and there. Change it according to your situation. And so they are waiting for it. So Tamil Nadu government is also waiting for it. So it will and then come out with a policy. Is it okay? I hope I have answered it.
Good afternoon, sir. I am from Department of Information Technology.
Yes.
Yes. What kind of support you will get it from the government, sir, for higher education?
Okay. It's a very good question. So I told you initially that the background behind this is Sustainable Development Goal of UN. So, so the big name United Nations is behind it. There are about 160 some plus countries are there as members. All of them have signed. So UN is expected. Again, I'm very careful in using the word. expected to, pitch in and in help in whatever way possible. How much they can help, how much they will want to help, how much Indian government will take that help, and what the kind of help Indian government will give. All those things is still it's in the black box. No, it's a gray area. We don't know, but something will come. That's what is hoped. We are not clear about how much and what way, but it will come.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
This is Ansari, faculty from the Department of Mechanical Engineering, MSCC.
Okay.
Sir, nowadays higher education institutions are insisted to have interaction with various industries for the benefit of the students.
Right.
Is there any control from the government to the industries? They also have to support for giving internships and projects. Is there any norms or while for the industries, whenever they are approaching government for any other things, do they have any norms to support for this? We are trying from our end to have inclination with the industry for this support. Industries, whether they have any government is necessitating the industries to do for.
Yeah,
yes,
I get your point, and we had this question in VAT also earlier and all that, but we managed it very effectively, fruitfully, and all that. So today, we can boast about having more than VAT can boast about, not me. VAT can boast about having more than 3,500 industry friends, okay, who closely work with VAT and all that. For that again, it all depends on how we understand it. Okay, your good name is Ansari, right? That's what you said. Okay, now
yes, sir, yes.
Assume that your college management says that, Ansari, you have to collaborate with Anand Samuel. Okay, and you are making all your efforts, and you are trying to meet me and all that, but I am morose. I give all kind of excuses saying that I'm busy. I'll say that, every single minute that I spend in the company is money for me. And if I spend time with you, how will I convert that into rupees? All these points are valid points, but I'll keep on giving you, right? And what can you do there is a question. Now the question is that, sir, why don't your parents give you some strict norms that Anand Samuel, my father, coming and telling me, Anand Samuel, you go and have interaction with Meenakshi Sundararajan faculty, Meenakshi Institute faculty, Mr. Ansari. So it's a mandate I'm giving you. If that's what my mother or father says and making it mandatory, that's what you are expecting. What do you think I will do? See, I have already given you some excuses why I'm not doing it. They're all genuine excuses, because by coming and talking to you, or you coming and talking to me, for me it's waste of time. Okay, so how will I react? I will say yes to my mother, yes to my father. Okay, I know how to dodge you, make you come and sit. Okay, you want to have interaction? No, you come and sit down, and I'll offer you a cup of coffee. You will come home, and I'll offer you a cup of coffee. I'll talk politics, I'll talk this, I'll talk that. What will you do? In what way it's going to benefit you? So please understand that even though this question is a valid question, from our institution side, but that's what VIT realized. From institution side, keeping ourselves in the place where we are keeping, expecting the industry to come volunteer to help us out, or expecting the government or any other professional bodies to force industry to come and help us out, please understand that that is not going to work. Now you think, somehow I'm not able to have interaction with Anand Samuel. He gives dodges with so many answers, so many points and things like that. What will I do? What change I will bring in me, so that when I call Anand Samuel, even if I spend about 10 minutes with him, he will understand that, oh yes, this 10 minutes what I spent with Ansari adds value to me. You understand the point? What I'm saying is that instead of focusing on others, focus on yourself. elevate your value.
Okay.
Right? If I get to know that, Ansari is very good in Arabic and I'm interested in learning Arabic, then I'll be interested in talking to you, man. Right? When you don't know Arabic and when I'm interested in Arabic, if you say, I'll come and talk to you in some other language, I will not be interested. You get that point? So look inwardly and see how you can elevate yourself, add value to you so that others will be interested in you rather than you being interested in them. That's what VIT did, and we have a great success story there.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions, ma'am?
Sir, in chat box, we have one more question.
What is it?
How many years it would take for the changes to happen if we start today?
Okay. If you start today, how many years it will take? It's like, again, I'll tell you, it depends on your interest, your involvement, your commitment, and the time that you spend, and totally on your speed of operation. If all these 5, if it is excellent, and that's what government says, that in 10 years time, everything will change. If there is a problem on our side, it will go slow. Right? And but 10 years is for the overall change, for Meenakshi to become a Meenakshi University. I'm talking about government given time is 35, 10 years from now. If everything is pakka, any delay, it will going to delay that. But please understand that it is not overall 10 alone. Every 2 years, there are breaks. Like now, if I don't know whether it's yours is an autonomy college or not, you have to become an autonomous college. You have to have foreign collaboration. You have to have, what you call research wing and PhD program. Everything. If you stagger it well, 10 years time, you can become a university, standalone, be confident and run. I would say run like VIT. It all depends on you. Answer. When I say you, I'm not talking to individual. I'm talking to everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank
Sundari,
you.
ma'am. Continue, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, sir, for your wonderful speech on national education policy with an insight to innovation and entrepreneurship. Emphasis on holistic development and responsibilities of higher education institutions are very informative. Now, I would like to invite Dr. M.K. Sandhya, Associate Professor, CSE Department, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. To God be the glory, great things He has done. On behalf of the institution's Innovation Council, MSCC, I deem it a great privilege to propose the vote of thanks for this webinar on National Education Policy 2020 with a focus on innovation and entrepreneurship. I express my heartfelt thanks to our management, our correspondent, Dr. K.S. Lakshmi Madam, Secretary Dr. K.S. Babai Ma'am, for their constant motivation, support, and being a source of inspiration to all of us. I thank our director, Mr. N. Shrikant Sir, the president of IIC, for his guidance and support in all our accomplishments. I thank our principal, Dr. P.K. Suresh Sir, our Dean Academics, Dr. K. Umarani Ma'am, for their guidance. I express my deep sense of gratitude to Dr. Anand A. Samuel Sir, former Vice Chancellor, Vellore Institute of Technology, for graciously accepting our request and sparing his valuable time amidst his busy schedule. This talk on National Education Policy 2020 with a focus on innovation and entrepreneurship was very enlightening. The need for holistic development in the field of education is the need of the hour. Thank you, sir, for that enriching and enlightening session. My profound thanks to our HOD, Dr. B. Monica Jennifer Ma'am, for her motivation, support, and guidance in all our endeavors. I thank all the heads of all other departments and staff members of MSCC for their suggestions and active participation in this webinar. I thank Ms. Deeksha Krishnan for rendering the prayer song and college song. My sincere thanks to my fellow coordinators of this webinar, Mrs. V. Sundari and Mrs. S. Aarti, for their support in organizing this webinar. I thank all the department faculty members for the support rendered. I thank all the